We asked GPT-5, the most sophisticated AI in the world, to find out when Shiba Inu will cost 10 cents. And I promise you, you won't believe the response. This video is a must-watch for anybody with a Shiba Inu interest or SHIB tokens. Thus, we requested GPT-5's forecast of the Shiba Inu price for the following 3, 6, and 12 months, as well as the exact moment it would reach 10 cents. If Shiba Inu follows GPT-5's forecasts, you might earn a ton of money, and I'll tell you the stunning answers to these questions in today's video. Do yourself a favor and watch this video. It has a wealth of useful information. Those of you who are unfamiliar with GPT-5 should know that it is OpenAI's most recent conversational GPT model and the most advanced AI accessible to the public at this time. As a crypto tool, it is invaluable, and its strength is 133 times that of its predecessor, GPT-4. Welcome to Dr. Crypto, your daily serving of Shiba. This is the spot for you if you're curious about anything related to Shiba. If you want to keep informed about all the latest news forecasts and stay ahead of the crypto industry, subscribe. To get more SHIB news, be sure to click the like button. We should look at the current pricing of Shiba Inu before moving on to GPT-5 projections. The current price of a Shiba Inu is around 1,225 units. At the moment, the token is the 29th highest valued cryptocurrency, with a market valuation of more than $7.2 billion. Please be aware that the prices mentioned in this video may have changed by the time you see it, and that the information does not constitute financial advice. How are the forecasts made? I have requested that GPT-5 provide me with 4 separate situations in which I want to see Shiba Inu prices predicted. This is the most probable, neutral, bullish, and bearish situation. It will span 3, 6, and 12 months. The 90-day forecasts will serve as our foundation. Bearish situation. The story starts with a steep decline in cryptocurrency prices. Following an unexpected crackdown by U.S. regulators, Bitcoin's value plummets by 20%. Deals with retail speculative assets that carry a significant degree of risk. Walruses are worried about more liquidity. Dump billions of SHIB into exchanges as liquidity drains. The bullish burn narrative is put to rest when the burn rate slows to a crawl due to the halt in network activity. Once a boisterous and rebellious group, the SHIB community is now quite silent. As it continues to decline, it breaks through important psychological supports and drops to 790 units. Feeling very drained, feeling abandoned, holders endure. Hashtags do not persist on Twitter. All anybody can hear are the haters announcing SHIB's death once again. Case without bias. SHIB almost escapes disaster in this chapter, but he is unable to catch a breeze. The meme currency excitement is dripping away as Bitcoin and altcoins stabilize and focus on more recent topics, such as AI tokens. Rates of burn are stable but lackluster. With its low volume rather than its high volume, the much-touted SHIB ETF remains in the rumor stage, limiting enthusiasm. There is an equal amount of pressure to sell for each green candle. During the first 3 months, SHIB fluctuates between 1,200 and 1,500 units, in a state of disarray. Memes are still being posted by the community, but the rush of the bull run seems distant. In a bullish situation, the first ever meme coin exchange-traded fund ETF, the Spark, which includes SHIB, Doge, and Pepe, was unexpectedly announced and is now available for trading on key U.S. platforms. The financial media is inundated with SHIB tales almost immediately. Whether SHIB will be the 2021 Doge is a topic of discussion on CNBC. As retail returns become mandatory, burn rates skyrocket, and traders take great pride in sharing social media posts about their big SHIB burns. It's FOMO time. New search trends are popping up all the time. Notable people tweet about SABI. Some exchanges have SHIB ETF pairings. A sense of genuine scarcity is heightened when the burn mechanism begins to reduce the amount of supply that may be circulated. Over 1,000% higher than today, SHIB shatters its previous all-time high of 8,816 units and surpasses 15,000 units in a jubilant surge. What was the energy like? Incontestable insanity. Suddenly, holders are being completely forthright when they discuss one penny. The most practical case. The burn mechanism is becoming more effective as Shibarium adoption increases, gradually decreasing the supply each week. Speculation of a meme basket ETF has been circulating, with brief spikes in activity, but the enthusiasm has been kept in check until formal confirmation is provided. SHIB is able to gradually rise in value due to Bitcoin's stability, which supports a healthy market overall. Some influential people have taken note of the trend towards reduced supply and are making predictions about how it will affect the next bull wave. Up 60–70% from today, SHIB has managed to reach 2,300 units by day 90. A cautious optimism pervades the air. The major shift is on the horizon, according to believers, but the excitement hasn't come just yet. So, let's figure out how much money we could make with these forecasts. To see the 6 and 12-month forecasts, make sure to stay tuned. Begin with $1,000. It has an initial cost of 1,225 units. A $10,000 profit would be yours, according to the optimistic forecast, with a price objective of 15,000 units, signifying a gain of 11,016%, which is simply insane. However, this is the most optimistic view, and it may not be practical. Now let's have a look at the practical forecast. It has set a reasonable high-end goal of 2,300 units, which would result in a profit of little over $700, or a return of 71%. The 6-month forecasts are next on the agenda. Negative outlook. From 90 days ago, the decline has been rapid. Following the lead of the US, authorities in the EU and Asian markets have classified meme coins as digital gambling instruments that are very speculative, thereby tightening the noose around them. Further reduction of liquidity occurs. Due to a significant decrease in on-chain activities, burn rates have remained same. Before its introduction, the SHIB ETF is scrapped because experts deem it too hazardous to even consider. In a 63% decline from today's price, panicked sellers drive SHIB to 490 units. Social media platforms are almost deserted but for dedicated bag holders and messages longing for a bygone era. A feeling? Totally frozen. A silent withdrawal occurs even among long-term bulls. Case without bias. Month 6 finds the lateral movement continuing. Loyalists buy every drop and profit-taking caps every little breakthrough. A never-ending game of tug-of-war ensues. While ETF rumors seldom come to fruition, the burn mechanism consistently reduces supply in an underwhelming manner. Since Bitcoin remains unchanged, there is no major force that might propel SHIB to new heights. There has been no movement in the price from 1,250 to 1,800 units. While SHIB continues to be a background hold for the community, traders shift their attention to more volatile assets and stop looking at it for quick flips. Positive outlook. Launched and surpassing expectations, the meme currency ETF attracts billions of dollars in inflows from institutional and individual traders alike. For the first time since Doge's 2021 run, major financial news covers meme culture. Suddenly, the rate of burn skyrockets, drastically cutting down on supplies. When it comes to deflationary meme coins, headlines are king at SHIB. As more and more celebrities upload SHIB merchandise and mention it in interviews, the frenzy grows on social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram. In the first 3 months, the price soared to 15,000 units, up 1,750% from today's level. In the 6th month, it soared to 25,000 units, making many instant millionaires. A feeling? Mania. Everyone is bringing up SHIB once again. Everyone, including those who arrived later, jumps in, thinking this is just the start. The most practical case. Shibarium adoption is increasing at a steady rate during the half-year, secretly increasing burn rates to all-time highs. The meme currency ETF has not yet debuted, but the rumors about it are becoming so pervasive that experts are starting to include it in their future estimates. To break out of its long-term range, SHIB needs a mix of factors, including a decrease in supply, steady acceptance, and a little recovery of meme coins in the market as a whole. In the sixth month, Shib trades at 2,800 to 3,200 units, a 110 to 140% increase over today. The mood is commanding, but controlled. Investors expect the next 12 months to be the most exciting. Then, let's figure out how much money we might make with these forecasts. If you want to know when GPT-5 predicts Shib will reach 10 cents, stay tuned for their 12-month projections. With an initial investment of $1,000 and a minimum purchase of 1,225 units. A gain of 1,760% or $17,000 would be yours from the optimistic forecast based on a price objective of 25,000 units. Insanely high profits. However, this is the most optimistic view, and it may not be practical. Now let's have a look at the practical forecast. At its most optimistic, it has targeted 3,200 units, which would result in a profit of little over $2,380, a return of 138%. Moving on to the negative 12-month forecast, here we go. The effects of the protracted recession become apparent after 1 year. Central banks are compelled to halt their plans to decrease interest rates because to an unexpected shock to the global economy, which may be a geopolitical crisis or a second bout of inflation. Meme currencies are the first to go when trading risk plummets and Bitcoin enters a deep bear phase. Major players discreetly leave their posts, and any possibility of a SHIB eat disappears. Without promotion or use, the burn mechanism just plods along. As the community diminishes to its most ardent adherents, SHIB declines to 290 units, a decline of over 80% from today. To put it simply, sentiment is like the last frost of the winter, tranquil, despondent, passed over. Case without bias. Even after a year, SHIB has failed to make any significant headway. The risk asset market as a whole benefits from rate reduction, but the real beneficiaries are popular narrative cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, while meme coins lag behind. Without new catalysts, the cost can't break out, but the burn mechanism continues lowering supply. As of yet, there has been no official word from regulators on the ETF proposal, so it is just that a rumor. A price range of 1,500 to 2,200 units is maintained. There is a calm, uninspired energy. Simply said, holders are idling their time till the next massive wave of memes hits. Positive outlook. The stars align here. A flood of funds flooded the worldwide market after the U.S. Federal Reserve and other central banks slashed interest rates. Assets that are vulnerable to danger. Launched with more trading activity than anticipated, the first meme currency ETF containing SHIB, Doge, and Pepe is a huge success. Month by month, the circulating supply of Shibarium shrinks as its adoption rates approach historic highs and burn rates reach record lows. The Doge murderer, SHIB, has been completely realized, according to media reports. Even influencers who aren't crypto-related flood social media with fear of missing out FOMO postings. Institutions might rationalize meme coin allocations as part of high-risk, high-reward strategy when rates are low and capital is cheap. The retail trader floods in, hell-bent on catching the next Doge wave. SHIB reaches a new generational high as it speeds beyond 25,000 units and soars to 50,000 units, an increase of more than 3,600% from today. Total manic episode characterizes the apex. Goals for the 1 cent price headlines are dominated by SHIB, and all parties involved insist they intend to stay for the duration. The controlled explosion is the most realistic scenario. The next 12 months will provide the ideal macro background for risk assets due to the rate decrease cycle. The approval of the meme currency ETF occurs in the middle of the year, but it does not result in an immediate moonshot. The opposite is true. It supports a rally that lasts for months. After a year of consistent use, the burn rate of Shibarium reaches a point where the supply curve begins to tilt downward. With a rise of 270 to 420% from today, SHIB trade between 5,000 and 7,000 units. Analysts are predicting that SHIB's next stop might challenge its record high in the next year, assuming macro circumstances remain unchanged and burns continue to accelerate. Despite this cautious optimism, sentiment remains strong. So, let's figure out how much money we could make with these forecasts. Stay tuned to find out when GPT-5 predicts that SHIB will reach $1 and $10 with an initial investment of $1,000 and 1225 units as the admission fee. According to the optimistic forecast, if the price reaches 50,000 units, you would pocket $36,000, a gain of 3,620% incredible earnings. However, this is the most optimistic view, and it may not be practical. Now let's have a look at the practical forecast. It has set a reasonable high-end objective of 7,000 units, which would result in a profit of almost $4,200, a return of 420%. But the question of the 10-cent dream is worth answering. We wanted to know when GPT-5 thinks Shiba Inu can earn $10 or even $1. Both price objectives should be given a deadline. The fantasy of 10 cents, with 589 trillion SHIB tokens in circulation, a market valuation of $58.9 trillion would be required for a 10-cent price point, more than Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the whole stock market value of most nations put together. That can't happen until there's a huge prolonged burn that cuts the blood supply by more than 90% to 99%. There might be billions of SHIB destroyed every day if Shibarium adoption skyrockets and daily burns become big. In addition, a third ETF supercycle may be achievable in the next 10 to 15 years, but only if burn rates remain constant and increase over time. The cycles of global meme coin acceptance and economic liquidity are repeatedly converging. The earliest reasonable time frame, which is 2035, 2040, in the most optimistic scenario, the $1 moonshot. More than 6 times the global GDP would be contained in SHIB's market value at $1 with today's supply, which is $589 trillion. Only after a massive 99.999% reduction in supply, reducing the number of tokens in circulation to less than 1-2 billion, will this be feasible. Aggressive burns aside, this is a show that spans generations. This goes beyond short-term price increases. It also concerns long-term practicality, widespread acceptance, integration at the ETF level, and most likely token reduction over many decades. No later than the late 1940s, at the earliest. Even then, it would be contingent upon SHIB's meteoric rise from meme currency status to that of a preeminent burn-loving crypto brand on a worldwide scale. Is it feasible then that a Shiba Inu might achieve these heights? Post a comment and tell me what you think. The day is over now. Remember to give it a big thumbs up. To see our most recent material, share it, and subscribe to the channel.